Listen, I know what you're thinking, winter gardening sounds impossible. But what if I told you there's a vegetable that laughs at -30 degrees? Not just survives it, thrives in it. Stick around, because what I'm about to share will flip everything you thought you knew about cold weather growing. Hey there, amazing souls. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, your go-to space for budget-friendly garden wisdom that actually works. If you're new here, you've just joined a community of growers who believe fresh food shouldn't stop when the temperature drops. And to my returning family, you know we always bring something different to the table. Now before we dig in, do me a quick favor if you're serious about stretching your growing season and saving money on groceries this winter. Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. It costs you nothing but means everything to this channel. Alright, let's get into these 10 incredible frost warriors that refuse to quit when others do. Here's the reality. Most gardening channels won't tell you winter isn't your enemy. It's actually a filter that separates the weak from the legendary. While your neighbors are ordering expensive organic produce from stores, you could be walking into your garden and harvesting vegetables that taste better than anything summer ever gave you. Why? Because cold weather does something magical to certain plants. It converts their starches into sugars as a survival mechanism. That means sweeter, crunchier, more flavorful food. But only if you know which crops can handle the brutality of real winter. So let's jump into the first champion. Crop 1. Spinach. First up, we've got spinach, but not the wimpy summer stuff you're thinking about. Winter spinach is a completely different beast. This leafy powerhouse can handle temperatures down to -20 degrees without breaking a sweat. Here's what makes it special. While other greens turn to mush at the first freeze, spinach actually gets tastier. The cold triggers it to produce more sugars, giving you leaves that are tender, sweet, and packed with nutrients. Now, the secret most people miss? Plant it in late summer or early fall around 8 weeks before your first hard freeze. This gives the roots time to establish before winter locks everything down. Once established, it'll sit there dormant through the coldest months, then explode with growth the moment spring hints at arriving. Varieties to look for. Bloomsdale Long-Standing and Thai are absolute tanks. They're specifically bred for cold tolerance. Space them about 4 inches apart, and here's a pro move: mulch around them with straw once the ground starts freezing. This isn't about keeping them warm, it's about preventing that freeze-thaw cycle that destroys roots. Cost? About $3 for a seed packet that'll feed you all winter. That's cheaper than a single store-bought container of organic spinach. Crop 2. Kale. Next, we have kale, the vegetable everyone loves to hate. But winter kale is genuinely different. I'm talking about a complete transformation in flavor. Summer kale can be bitter and tough. Winter kale is sweet, tender, and actually pleasant to eat raw. Some folks say it tastes like a completely different plant, and they're not wrong. Kale can survive down to -25 degrees, and here's the kicker: it actually prefers cold weather. The varieties that matter. Winterbor and Darkabor are your best choices. These Russian varieties were literally bred to survive Siberian winters. They develop thicker leaves with a waxy coating that acts like natural insulation. Planting strategy. Get them in the ground 10 to 12 weeks before your first freeze. They need time to mature before cold hits. Once they're established, they'll keep producing fresh leaves all winter. Just harvest the outer leaves and let the center keep growing. Budget breakdown. One plant produces for months. A single seed packet running about $4 gives you enough plants to supply your family with greens until spring. Compare that to $8 per bunch at the grocery store, and you're looking at massive savings. Plus, you're getting nutrition levels that destroy anything sitting on a shelf for days. Crop 3. Carrots. Number 3 might surprise you: carrots. These root vegetables become candy under snow. Most gardeners pull their carrots before frost, and they're missing out on nature's sweetest trick. When temperatures drop, carrots convert their starches into sugar to prevent their cells from freezing. The result? Carrots that taste like they've been honey-glazed, straight from the soil. Varieties that excel. Napoli and Bolero are winter champions. They're shorter and stockier than summer types, which helps them handle frozen ground. Plant these in mid to late summer. They need about 70 to 80 days to mature before serious cold arrives. Here's the technique nobody talks about. Once the ground starts to freeze, pile 6 to 8 inches of straw or shredded leaves over your carrot bed. This keeps the soil workable enough that you can still harvest even when everything else is frozen solid. Just push aside the mulch, dig your carrots, and replace the covering. The economics are wild. A $4 seed packet produces pounds of carrots worth $50 to $60 at organic prices. And they store themselves right in the ground, no root cellar needed. You literally have fresh carrots on demand all winter. Quick pause if you're finding value in this. Show some love by hitting that like button. It genuinely helps more people discover these money-saving strategies. And drop a comment telling me which crop you're most excited to try. I read every single one and reply to as many as possible. Alright, let's keep moving. Crop 4. Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts at number 4, the vegetable that needs winter to reach its full potential. Here's what most people don't realize. Brussels sprouts grown in warm weather taste bitter because they're stressed. Brussels sprouts grown through frost? They're nutty, sweet, and completely change the mind of people who think they hate them. These plants are absolute tanks. They handle -15 degrees easily, and light freezes actually improve their flavor. The cold breaks down bitter compounds and boosts sugar content. Timing is everything. Start these in early summer because they're slow growers. They need 90 to 100 days to mature, but once they do, they'll keep producing through heavy frost and light snow. As temperatures drop, harvest from the bottom up. The lower sprouts mature first. Varieties worth growing. Long Island Improved and Gustus are proven performers. They develop tight, firm sprouts even in challenging conditions. The financial angle: one plant produces dozens of sprouts over several months. A seed packet costs around $5 and gives you 10 to 15 plants. Compare that to $8 per pound at stores for organic sprouts, and you're easily saving $100 or more per season. Plus, freshly picked Brussels sprouts are genuinely delicious. Nothing like the sulfur bombs people remember from childhood. Crop 5. Leeks. Leeks are number 5, and these might be the most underrated winter vegetables in existence. While onions struggle in the cold, leeks were practically designed for winter growing. They can handle temperatures down to -10 degrees, and unlike most vegetables, they actually get better the longer they stay in the ground. The cold mellows their flavor, making them sweeter and more complex. What makes leeks brilliant for budget gardeners? They're expensive at stores, often $6 to $8 per pound for organic. Growing them costs pennies. Plus, they store themselves in the garden. No digging, no storage concerns. Just harvest when you need them. Varieties to focus on: King Richard for faster growth, or Blue de Soleil if you want something that can handle truly brutal colds. We're talking -25 degrees. Planting strategy: start seeds indoors in late winter or direct sow in spring for winter harvest. They need a long growing season, about 120 days, but they'll stand in the garden right through winter. When you're ready to harvest, simply loosen the soil and pull. Here's a technique that'll blow your mind. Blanch the stems by hilling soil around them as they grow. This gives you more of that tender white part everyone loves. The result is restaurant-quality leeks at home garden prices. Crop 6. Parsnips. Parsnips claim the 6th spot, and these roots are proof that patience pays off. Parsnips need frost, not just tolerate it, they require it. Before freezing temperatures hit, parsnips taste starchy and bland. After several hard frosts, they transform into sweet, nutty roots with a flavor somewhere between carrots and potatoes. This happens because, just like carrots, they convert starches to sugars as a freeze defense mechanism. These vegetables can handle -30 degrees, making them one of the hardiest crops on this list. They'll sit under snow all winter, perfectly preserved and getting sweeter by the week. Timing is crucial. Plant parsnip seeds in spring because they need a full growing season, 120 days minimum. The seeds are notoriously slow to germinate, taking up to 3 weeks, so patience is required from the start. But once they're growing, they're virtually maintenance-free. Best varieties: Hollow Crown and Gladiator are reliable producers with excellent cold tolerance and smooth, uniform roots. The harvest strategy: don't pull them until after several hard freezes. Many gardeners wait until January or February to harvest because the flavor just keeps improving. Use the same mulching technique as carrots. Cover the bed with straw so you can harvest from frozen ground. Money saved. Organic parsnips run $10 per pound or more. Growing them costs about $3 for seeds that produce 20 pounds or more. That's incredible value for a vegetable that requires almost zero maintenance once established. Crop 7. Mache. Number 7 is mache, also called corn salad, and this might be the secret weapon you've never heard of. Mache is a European green that treats winter like a vacation. It can survive temperatures down to -20 degrees, and it grows when almost nothing else will. While your lettuce turns to slime at the first freeze, mache just sits there producing tender, nutty leaves all winter long. What makes it perfect for budget gardening? It self-sows. Plant it once, and it'll come back year after year without you doing anything. Plus, it grows in dense rosettes, meaning you get a lot of greens from a small space. The flavor profile is unique, mild, slightly nutty, with a tender texture that's perfect for salads. Europeans have been growing this for centuries because it fills the gap when nothing else produces. Growing tips. Direct sow in late summer or early fall. The seeds are tiny, so mix them with sand for easier spreading. They'll germinate quickly in cool soil and form small rosettes before winter hits. Once cold arrives, growth slows but never stops. You can harvest all winter by snipping outer leaves. Varieties. Vit is the most common and reliable. It forms tight rosettes that hold up under snow. Cost analysis. Seeds are cheap, about $4, and since it self-sows, you buy them once. Store-bought mache, if you can even find it, runs $12 to $15 per pound. Growing it yourself means gourmet salads all winter for virtually nothing. Crop 8. Winter radishes. At number 8, we have winter radishes, completely different from those spring radishes you're familiar with. Spring radishes are small, quick, and mild. Winter radishes are large, slow-growing, and pack intense flavor. Varieties like black Spanish and watermelon radish can handle temperatures down to -10 degrees and store beautifully either in the ground or harvested. Why they're worth growing. These radishes develop complex, spicy flavors that add serious character to winter meals. Plus, they store for months in a cool place, giving you fresh vegetables deep into winter even if you harvest them before the ground freezes solid. Planting window. Sow in late summer, about 60 to 70 days before your first hard freeze. They need cool weather to develop properly. Hot weather makes them woody and overly spicy. Varieties to try. Black Spanish round has black skin and white flesh with a sharp bite. Watermelon radish is milder, with stunning pink interior flesh that looks incredibly sliced thin in salads. Harvesting approach. You can leave them in the ground under mulch and harvest as needed, or pull them all before deep freezes and store in damp sand in a cool basement. Either way, you'll have radishes until spring. Budget win. A seed packet costs $3 and produces enough radishes to last all winter. Store-bought winter radishes, when available, are expensive specialty items. Growing them yourself means having something unique and delicious for almost nothing. Crop 9. Collard greens. Collard greens take the 9th position, and these southern classics are tougher than most people realize. Collards can survive down to -15 degrees, and just like kale, they taste dramatically better after frost. The cold sweetens them and tenderizes the leaves, turning them from tough and bitter into something genuinely delicious. What makes collards special for winter growing? They're extremely low maintenance. Once established, they basically take care of themselves. They resist pests better than most greens, and they keep producing new leaves for months as long as you harvest properly. Varieties for cold climates. Champion and Morris heading are proven cold-tolerant varieties. They form loose heads of large leaves that you can harvest continuously. Growing strategy. Plant in mid to late summer so they mature before hard freezes. Once established, they'll slow down in a deep cold but never stop completely. Harvest outer leaves and let the center keep growing. One plant can produce for 6 months or more. The nutrition angle. Collards are nutritional powerhouses loaded with vitamins A, C, and K, plus calcium and fiber. Store-bought organic collards run about $6 per bunch. A single plant produces dozens of bunches worth of leaves over its lifetime. One $4 seed packet gives you 10 to 15 plants. Cooking tip: after frost, you can eat them raw in salads or lightly sautéed. The bitterness that requires long cooking in summer collards disappears once they've been through cold weather. Crop 10. Claytonia. Finally, at number 10, we have Claytonia, also known as miner's lettuce, and this is the ultimate cold weather survivor. Claytonia can handle -30 degrees. That's right, -30. It's one of the hardiest salad greens on the planet, and it grows when literally nothing else will. This plant is native to cold mountainous regions, so winter is where it shines. The leaves are tender, mild, and slightly tangy, perfect for fresh winter salads. The plant forms small rosettes with unique round leaves that look like something from a fairy tale garden. Why budget gardeners love it? Like Mache, it self-sows aggressively. Plant it once, and it becomes a permanent part of your garden. It also grows in partial shade, making it perfect for spaces where other plants struggle. Growing approach: direct sow in late summer or early fall. The seeds germinate quickly in cool soil. Once established, the plants will overwinter and provide greens all season. In spring, they'll flower, set seed, and create the next generation automatically. Best part: it's beautiful. The flowers are small, white, and delicate. Even if you weren't growing it for food, it would make an attractive ground cover. Cost: seeds run about $4, but again, you only buy them once. After that, they maintain themselves. You get gourmet salad greens that most people have never heard of, let alone tasted, for essentially free every single year. So there you have 10 crops that laugh at winter and keep your garden productive when everyone else has given up. But here's what really matters. This isn't just about saving money, though you'll easily save hundreds of dollars. It's about food security, better nutrition, and the satisfaction of walking through snow to harvest dinner from your own garden. The best part? You don't need fancy equipment or expensive setups. Most of these crops just need decent soil, some mulch, and the willingness to try something different. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 10 are you planning to grow? Are you a spinach person? Or are you going all in on those sweet winter carrots? Drop your answer in the comments because I genuinely want to know what resonates with you. And if you got value from this, do 2 things. First, share this information with someone who'd benefit, send it to a family member, share it in a gardening group, and help spread this knowledge. Second, subscribe if you haven't already. We're building a community of growers who refuse to let winter stop them, and I want you to be part of it. Next video, we're covering the biggest mistakes people make with winter gardening that kill their crops before spring arrives. You won't want to miss that because fixing these mistakes is the difference between success and frustration. Until then, keep growing, keep learning, and remember, winter is just another season to prove what's possible. I'll see you in the next donut.